You're listening to the PTO Unlimited podcast.
Welcome back to the PTO Unlimited podcast. I'm sitting here with
Josh.
Alex.
as usual. How's everybody doing? You can't tell me, but that's okay. How are you guys doing?
Good.
Pretty good.
Yeah.
Yeah, I got a lot of sleep last night.
I did not.
Man, I slept like a boulder.
Awesome.
That's great.
It was great. This is a special show because earlier this week they announced the Microsoft is ceasing the production of the Xbox 360.
Yep.
And that kind of, I don't care. Like it's a sad thing, I guess. But in my eyes, this 360 has ran its course. I mean, it's Xbox One full time now.
Oh, yeah.
So while that's, I guess it's just, history locked away.
It is. The launch of it was, 11 years ago? So it's like a generation gone and done with.
Yep.
Yeah.
It made me think about the memories that I have with the 360, which are substantial.
Oh, yeah. When did you get yours?
I waited, actually. I think I remember being somewhat skeptical, and it's not because I didn't think that it was good, but I remember I had just gotten my original Xbox, and I was playing stuff on that, and I'm like, I'll just wait a while and see, wait till it gets a little bit farther in its life cycle before I do anything, and I'll play some games that I haven't got to on the original Xbox.
What year, though?
What year did I get it?
Mm-hmm.
I think, I honestly don't remember. I think it was probably in the...
Probably a year
somewhere
after,
around.
right?
I know I didn't have it when I moved out on my own, or maybe I did. I might have been right when I moved because I think I had one for a while, but I wasn't really playing anything on it. I continued to play my original Xbox, so I might have got it the summer of 2007 or maybe
Okay.
early 2007.
We got ours the winter of 2008.
Yeah, you were really
Yeah.
late to it.
We were late. 3 years late.
Yeah, well, we were into Nintendo console before that, so.
Exactly.
Oh yeah, I remember.
But Xbox 360's launch was pretty big, but their titles were not. That was my big deal.
Yeah, the launch title, now this can vary depending on who you talk to. Like for me, it wasn't that impressive. And there were some games that were on, they did like they always do. They put it out on both.
Right. But like 75% of them were third-party titles.
Yeah.
That's kind of sad. I mean, well, in this day and age, you need to have at least 3 to 5 first-party titles launched.
Yeah, it's changed quite a bit as well. I mean, launches change, and there's not as many developers now as there was even 11 years ago. A lot of companies have gone under.
Right. One more thing to add with that is back in 2005, the internet wasn't as big as it is now, so video game excitement wasn't as huge. Everything you heard about video games was through like GameStop or
Commercials.
IGN. Yeah.
On
IGN is
TV.
a big one, yeah.
Yeah. The internet is so big now. That's why people have they view trailers so much earlier and they get more hype.
Yeah, developers think they got to they have to announce a game, and then and the reason they do that is to build the hype over the months. And 50% of the time, the game, maybe even more than that, ends up getting delayed anyway. So you have more time to build the hype.
Yeah.
So, I used to, when a game was announced, I'd watch everything I could on it. Now I just kind of wait, and like when it comes out, I'll play it.
Right. Do you know how many sales it did?
I don't.
I pulled it up right here on Wikipedia. Let me go up a little bit here. As of June 9th of 2014, they did 84 million units worldwide.
That's really good.
That is, but mainly it's the United States getting more than half that
I believe that.
because we're gamers in the U.S.
We are.
Oh, doesn't mean anybody else is in another country.
So is Japan, but
I was
Japan
gonna say, I was
hates
they
Microsoft.
don't like Microsoft.
they do.
That's a Sony and a Nintendo place.
Oh, that's
Mhm.
yeah.
That's
okay, I
3DS
can
is
see that.
huge in Japan because of commutes.
Yep. They in Japan in 2011, Japan had 1.5 million sales.
Wow, that's it.
That's not much. Australia has less than that. Only 1 million.
Oh,
Yeah.
wow, that's weird because we would get connected on Halo with a bunch of people from Australia back in the day.
I remember playing Halo 3 with someone from Japan.
Oh.
Wow.
Mm-hmm.
Did they speak English?
No. He kept on talking full-on Japanese.
How did you know it was Japanese?
Well, it could have been Korean, but I don't know.
You did not speak English in other words.
So, yeah.
So the Xbox 360 had multiple different lineups as far as different consoles throughout its lifespan. Do you
Iterations
remember?
of consoles.
Yeah, do you remember?
Well, yeah, I remember there was the arcade version that had no hard drive. You had to do
Yep.
actual memory cards.
That's what we had.
Yeah.
That was our
And-
first console, was the arcade. And we still have the console, but...
Tray's broken.
Well, yeah. I mean, it had its own issues. Xbox 360.
Still works.
Yes, as a...
They you could get your digital
platform.
games on it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I do remember the hard drive started at 20 gigs, which gave you about 10.5 gigs of actual storage.
Right. I'm looking at
And,
that. Yep.
You know that had to happen because they had no idea. Well, maybe they did know that eventually they were going to have such a huge on-demand library to where you don't have to use.
They
a
might
disc.
not have known.
They may not have known.
Online
or
wasn't as big
May
back
have
then.
been. It wasn't. It may have been a, clever business tactic to release smaller hard drives to where you have to eventually upgrade because it went 20 gig, 60 gig, 120, 250, 320, 500. I don't know if there was a 500, but I know there was a 320 because I have one.
Well, DLC wasn't big until like 09.
That's true.
Like when Modern Warfare 2 came out,
Yeah.
that set the DLC platform.
Yeah, it did.
So in 2009, they released the, let's see here, they had the 60 gig and the Elite, which was the 120. So
120,
by
yeah.
then,
What was the one that we got?
Which one?
We
We have two.
do. Well, no, we had the arcade,
Yeah,
and then we had
the Slim.
the Slim.
And the Slim, that came out in 2010. The 250 gigabyte for the price was $299. Do you remember the price of the 360 when it launched for the 20 gig?
Was it $4.99?
$399.
Okay.
Yeah. Yep. So the core, they had the Xbox 360 Premium and the Xbox 360 Core, and then in 2007 they came out with the Elite, which was the 120 gig.
And it
That
went
was
from white to
expensive.
black, and it blew everybody's mind.
A color.
It looked so cool, being black instead of the white that it had been all the way up to then. And I'm pretty sure that I think I waited and got one around the time the Elite was coming out. Now I'm totally screwing up my timeline, but I do remember taking it back
No, you're not.
to get. Well, I meant my personal timeline on when I actually got one.
That's April 29th is when it launched.
Of what?
2007.
Okay, so I got mine right around there, and like 2 weeks went by, and then the Elite came out. So I took the white one back, and I got the Elite, and I remember now.
What, you returned your console?
Yeah.
Wait, so you bought it like a couple months beforehand? Because
No,
you had like a 90
couple
day.
weeks.
Really?
Yeah.
Did you know the Elite
I don't think I
was-
did, and one of my coworkers was like, "I thought you would just get an Elite." I'm like,
What the hell is the Elite?
so that's what I did. I took it back, got the Elite, and it's one I stuck with at first. And I think that one eventually red ringed.
Yeah, that was a
Did
big
we ever
deal.
have an Xbox that's red ringed?
Once, but it reversed itself somehow.
It did.
Yeah,
I think I remember that, don't I? Like, 'cause I think we were both there, and it went red for a second, and then
It wasn't necessarily. I don't think it was the solid state inside or the board or whatever coming unhinged. I think it was the hard drive wasn't connecting properly, which that was a big issue because the Xbox 360 had their hard drive on the outside, whereas until they came out with the Slim, everything was internal, and then everything else is now internal. So,
That's an important thing to bring up was the red ring issue, because I can't remember a time when a console had a major defect like the red ring of death, and that could have buried them, but they extended their warranty like 3 years.
Yep. Yep,
And-
exactly. You're good on this. I'm reading this as you're saying it.
Yep. Extended their warranty like 3 years, and that kind of saved them. I think, well, how it may have pissed a lot of people off, but with 84 million install base, it must not have pissed them off enough to where they didn't want one.
People just wanted online gameplay with dedicated servers, and Xbox 360 had that.
Well, and I can understand. You spend your hard-earned money on a console, you play it for however long, and it bricks on you. There's nothing more frustrating than that.
I can probably list a few more things, but I'm pretty sure gamers alike will agree with you.
Yes. So, but they took the steps, and I remember hearing an interview about that somewhere, and when they found out they had this problem, they went to the boss and they're like, "This is the problem. It's going to cost us a lot of money to fix." And he's like, "Well, what if we don't fix it?" And they're like, "It's probably the end of our gaming future." And he's like, "Spend the money and fix it."
I'm sure. I'm pretty sure that's how the exact conversation went, in a sense, like bullet points. Is like,
'cause
fix this.
So much money is invested, and if you don't have your product anymore, that's all of its money gone. And then if you try to get back into it in the future, spurned customers don't forget.
See, what I don't understand, to just go a little bit off, is how Xbox One is doing so poor due to the Xbox 360. Aren't people like dedicated to their company?
Well,
I know
honestly, I don't. I am too. I don't remember why people decided to switch. I know some of it has to do with the price difference at the time, but maybe now that both consoles are around the same price, it'll help bring people back. Because the game lineup is not, in my opinion, is not any better at Sony as far as exclusives go. It's not a game thing. I don't think. Maybe it is.
Oh,
If
I
it
don't know.
is,
I think the titles
if
are
you
awesome.
switched, send us an email at PTOUnlimited@gmail.com because we're really curious.
Yeah.
I have
good
not
idea.
switched. Again, I have not been a all or one kind of guy. If there's something on Sony exclusive, such as Uncharted or God of War, that I want to play, that'll give me a reason to buy a Sony product. But
Right.
it's not my first choice for a console. But I don't want to miss out on something because I'm going to only play one console no matter what.
I'm reading some figures here on release dates for the Xbox 360. Did you know that they released the 360 in Russia and Peru?
I did not know that.
Yeah. Do you want to know how much it was in Russia and Peru?
Sure.
In Russia, when it was launched in February 10th, 2007, it was $640.
Wow.
That's
Peru
expensive.
is more. It launched in February 26, 2008. That is 3 years,
Yeah.
or 2.5 years after the console launch in the U.S. And that was $762.
Wow.
It's no wonder why US owns most of that. The
Yeah, I mean,
360s.
The install base.
We are the first world. I mean, it's like people here are all about gaming, whereas in Peru and Russia, I mean, I don't know what their
I wouldn't know.
I don't
lifestyle
know.
is.
Never been there.
Maybe they do their knockoff consoles there, because I've seen quite a few being made, especially over in Korea and stuff.
Yeah.
So
So as far as we talked about the hardware. Was there any kind of accessory? Because I have one of mine that blew you away.
chat pad.
That's what I was
yeah,
going to say.
chat pad. Yes, definitely.
I mean, sending messages to people is always a big deal. Well, they used to have MSN on Xbox too.
Yeah.
They don't on the One. I don't know why, but
because no one uses MSN anymore.
oh, did they
That's
not?
kind of it.
No.
I mean, I couldn't
Well,
tell
it
you.
may still be there, but I'm sure nobody uses it.
The Kinect blew some people away.
Yeah, it was interesting, and it was a good idea that they kind of redefined on the Xbox One, and now it's all it is a microphone pretty much for the voice commands.
Yeah.
Right.
There's no gaming. It is not used for gaming at all. No,
Did you ever buy custom faceplates?
I didn't buy any custom faceplates. No, but I remember them.
Are you looking at me weird, Alex, for some reason?
No, I was like, I thought he had bought custom faceplates.
No, I bought custom consoles. I never
Oh,
bought a
okay.
custom
Do you know
faceplate.
what a faceplate is?
I thought I did, and like what goes right on front of the Xbox.
Yeah,
The
that-
360
Yeah.
Arcade and Elite and Pro.
Before the Slim,
Yeah,
you
the little
could
things
you
that-
could pull the face off and put
Yeah.
on a custom
Okay.
face
See, I know
plate.
what it is.
Like in
I'm
Face
not
Off.
stupid.
Like in Face Off.
Like in Face Off.
Only no surgery required.
I'm looking at accessories. I can probably actually pull up an article on what they had, because some of them are saying on here like wired and wireless controllers, webcam, dance mats, 3 sizes of memory units, 5 sizes of hard drives, 20, 60, 120, 250, and then they had a 320 gig.
Yeah, the Gears Xbox that I have, the Gears of War that came out with Gears of War 3, that has a 320.
You had the remote for media. The media remote.
I had one. I never used it though because I had the one by Logitech.
Yeah.
Yeah, that one was expensive,
Mhm.
and it still works. I still have it.
Universal media remote.
That one is 11 years old.
Do you remember our buddy had that wireless racing wheel for the 360 because he kept on playing all those racing games like
I
Forza
do,
and stuff?
and
That's quite the accessory.
It is. It's expensive for one, especially they redid it a couple times, and it was never for me.
Another one is the big button pad for CNET,
Oh yeah.
Yep.
Mhm.
which you could actually use as an actual controller if
Yeah,
you're just
you
using it as a media remote.
Well, let's talk about controllers for a second, because the one thing that I really loved before the console was out was the fact that it was wireless for the first time ever, and
Yeah. Go on.
I think that was it. Just the fact that it was wireless.
Cool story, bro.
The big thing that got me into 360 is the controller felt right.
It
Yes,
is
the
the
controller
best
is-
feeling
feels so good.
controller ever.
Do you
in
think
my
the
opinion.
one is any
One's
better?
fine.
I think
the-
it's a little bit flatter.
The one thing I like about the one versus the 360 is that the battery compartment is flat against it and not sticking
Yes,
out like it
I
is
like
on the
that.
360.
I didn't have an issue with that.
I like the form of the 360 controller better though compared to the one.
'Cause it
like
has more-
it feels perfect.
It's
Has more contour.
Yeah.
the
Yes.
most ergonomic controller in video game history. And it feels the best.
Then why do people like PlayStation so much? That controller is
See,
just...
it's funny because when I play PlayStation 3, like I've kind of just gotten used to it, but yeah, it feels weird. And
Oh,
I feel like my hands would get tired from switching to 360 to PlayStation. Like I think they would all cramp up
yeah.
because
Get-
of how you have to
as-
push the
it
as
button.
a-
has less to hold on to
You
on
get-
the Sony controllers.
You get as what's called gamer claw.
Gamer Claw.
Gamer
Right.
claw.
I don't know why. Okay, so I've got one accessory that we never talked about yet.
Okay.
The wireless headset.
Oh, I had one.
I did
It
too.
Did we?
I still
fit,
do.
It's like a Bluetooth headset. It fit
Well, there are
over
two different
your ear.
kinds.
Oh, yeah, that's right.
There's
Yeah,
I don't
we
know if
have
you can
that.
see here. There's the white one, and then they had the black one. Like the black one was the blue. This one wasn't Bluetooth.
Oh, I know what you're talking about.
Yeah, they had two different kinds.
The blue. Yes. No, there was no Bluetooth for Microsoft because it's not.
Yes, yeah. The in 2011, Microsoft replaced the wireless headset with a completely redesigned model,
Oh.
which had the Bluetooth. You could switch to Bluetooth.
Oh, my darned.
That's the one that we have, right? Because you can use it with your phone.
Which is funny because you could use that headset
It was
on PlayStation.
Yeah, I remember
could?
now because they painted
Bluetooth.
one up.
Oh, that's right. Well, yeah, it's
They
Bluetooth.
painted one up with the Modern Warfare 3 theme.
Yeah,
Okay.
like the camo.
I had the one that was not Bluetooth. It wasn't very good. I mean, it was cool, but it didn't fit very well, and
Yeah, that one
had
just looks
kind of a
bulky
strange design.
from what
But
I
I
see.
still have it. It's in a big junk tote of old electronic stuff, and it was painted up with the Halo 3 theme.
Okay.
So that'll go up on the nostalgia shelf.
I mean, everything else I'm looking at here as far as accessories for this awesome device. I mean, it's all third-party stuff.
Well, we
like-
can talk about briefly the wireless adapter because they were all internal now.
I'm
I know-
looking.
Well, I saw it, so don't.
Okay. I was like, do you have like some kind of psycho ability here? Because I just scrolled to
No,
wireless network adapter.
this time I actually saw it. But I never got one.
I did.
Really?
Yeah, when
it work
Alex and
well?
I moved to Chicago, we didn't have internet, so we thought, hey, let's kind of try to take someone else's internet because we found someone that had it for
We
like
did?
an open source. Yeah,
Oh, I
they were
don't
on the
remember
other
that.
end of our apartment building, so I plugged in the wireless adapter, and I was getting like a shit connection, and I was
Yep.
just like, I was without internet for at least I want to say 3 months, and I was like, I can't handle this. I need the internet. You didn't understand.
Yeah, I've been there.
Yeah, having the internet, it
That's changed gaming.
Yes.
Well,
yes, it did.
I mean, we could talk about Xbox Live, which actually started on the original Xbox, but was evolved majorly on the 360.
Right.
And I didn't even understand the concept because when I started playing video games, there was no dashboard. You just turned on the console and there's the game.
The blades.
Yeah.
People
That
always talk
started
about
there.
the blades.
And there's been outcry to bring the blades back for
Oh, screw
years,
that.
but
Well, it's not going to happen now.
It's definitely not going to happen now. But Xbox Live was just, then you had the PlayStation Network, and
PSN was free.
it is. And there's a free version and a PS Plus, which
Mhm.
is pay. But Xbox Live is not free. It was always $60. I didn't really understand what it was.
No, that went up. It used to be. It used to be less.
It used to be 50.
50
a year.
for a year,
And
and
now
then
it's 60.
20. Yeah, they went up with the annual, but everything else stayed the same.
But I'm okay with one time a year paying $60.
I remember 3 months being $20.
Yeah, yeah. You could pay it. You could pay it by month, but it's $10 a month,
Yeah.
where you end up paying double.
So
I think Xbox Live is what really brought my attention to it, because moving from Indiana out to South Dakota for 9 months, found out that most of our friends had Xboxes, and that's kind of how we stayed connected, was going online and playing games together.
Right.
Yep. I think, and the main game was Halo 3.
Yeah.
Well, we could.
We could play Rock Band too. You could even
Online.
have
We did
I
that
thought
once,
what was
yeah.
cool is we could play Rock Band. Like one of our friends that was still in Fort Wayne, we would get online and play Rock Band with him.
Oh, yeah.
And you could they would be able to see what the same screen and what you're hitting. And the cool thing was that we could hear each other sing into the mic,
Yeah.
like how we were doing.
Yeah.
Yep.
So I thought that was pretty cool.
As
Go.
far as games go, do you have a favorite 360 game?
Gosh.
That's
say
really
BioShock
difficult.
Infinite.
I had a top 5 at one point, and I don't even know if I still had it at the time. It was really. I remember Saints Row 2 was on there because I loved it, but I went back to it even a year ago, and it was rough. When you get used to an open world sandbox type game like GTA, and you go back to something, you see how good GTA 5 is. And that doesn't take away what I got out of Saints Row 2, because I put like 70 hours into it.
Right.
And it was a lot of fun. And I think Red Dead Redemption is up on my list too. And I think eventually that's been rumored to come to backwards compatibility for a while. But that one speaks to me.
Mainly, I would say BioShock Infinite, or the BioShock trilogy in general. Of course, Halo 4, Black Ops 2.
None of the Halos on 360 spoke to me or did something for me as much as Halo 2 did on original Xbox. And that could be just because your first exposure.
My exposure was Halo 3 first, and then
So-
I went to ODST, and then Reach, and then 4.
I want to say when Reach came out is when we were, I think, the most excited, because that came out when we were living back in Chicago, and that's
Right.
when you were in college, and
Yep.
everybody was like, we have to get this opening night, and we would race home to see who could get online first and start it up and get leveled up, and because we were already playing Halo 3 beforehand.
I think
or
Halo
ODST.
4 spoke to me the most as far as a campaign goes.
Yeah, I think it's the best Halo on the 360.
Well, that goes without saying, because you had all the abilities that any Halo game should have already had,
Right.
like sprint and jetpack and all that stuff.
I think Sprint was like the best invention on Halo.
Was
Because
it-
I did that, because if you go back to any of the other Halos from playing Halo 4, it's too slow and I want to run.
I can go back to Halo 3 any day, but it'll
It's
feel
fun, but it's
I
too
can't.
slow.
it
I like
feels
fast
like
games.
feels like gold.
I never was very good at the multiplayer.
It didn't. Well,
Yeah, you were all right. You played with us.
I was lucky to be competitive.
yeah, I mean, there were times when I was like, "Come on, Brett, play Halo 3 with us," and that was when we were living in South Dakota. And then I get home from work one day, Alex is playing online with you. I was so pissed.
Yeah.
I was like, "Son of a!" I wanted to play Halo with Brett for like months, and now he's not. Okay.
The only other games for me that stick out, and it's not as much a 360 thing, but there were 4 of them. I think there were 4, maybe there were just 3, but that's the Splinter Cell franchise, which there was Double Agent, Conviction, and Blacklist, and I played them a lot. I didn't play Double Agent as much, but that's more of my love for that franchise versus on 360, because Red Dead, some of these games, not the Halos, but Red Dead, Saints Row, Splinter Cell, those are all third party, so they're on the PS3 too, but I played them on my 360.
Alex, did you have any favorite games?
Well, obviously what brought me from Nintendo, and even because my history is starting off with a Nintendo and then going to a 64, and then there was a dry spell for a really long time, and then you got obsessed with the Wii, but I wasn't as obsessed, and then there was a little bit more of a dry spell, and then we had gotten the Rock Band for the Wii, and it got boring after a while, and then you said, well, now we're going to get a 360, and I was kind of, it's just another console.
Oh, just another console.
Well, I just wasn't that much into gaming as much as you were, because I was in college and you're doing all this adult stuff. And then we got the 360, and then you're like, just play Halo, because that's the game that we had. And we got online, started playing Halo multiplayer. Of course, I sucked at first, but it became so addicting.
It did.
And so I'd say Halo is, yes, I'm going to say Halo is definitely going to be my number one, just because if you were to combine all of the games that we've played on 360, we've spent more time, I think, on Halo. I know.
Are you talking about all the Halos that were on 360?
Yeah, if you were to combine all of
3,
them.
3, ODST, yes. Reach, and 4?
Yes.
Okay.
We have a love for Halo. This new Halo, not so much.
It's too bad Guardians was a letdown.
Well, yeah. It wasn't on the 360.
Well, the Master Chief Collection wasn't either.
That's true.
But as a reiteration of everything, it's fine.
But if we were to talk about my passion for the 360, it would be Halo's what brought me into being an Xbox person.
Same with Rock Band.
Yeah, I mean, Rock Band's always going to be there, just because as far as spending the most money on a game, we spent the most money on Rock Band with all the downloadable content. Because what do we have, 300-400 downloadable songs
Probably
over the past
I think
so
we were
many
up to
years?
5, because we did all the packs like Green Day and Lego
and then we had we got the stage kit, we had lasers, we had a fog machine, our whole entire living room was a stage. We could set it up with black lights. It was a lot of fun to bring people over and play.
One thing we didn't touch on for the accessories was the HD DVD.
Oh, I had one of those.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know why I got that. Actually, I bought it from a friend. But I had, nobody really knew Blu-ray was going to win, and maybe they did. I just thought I kind of want that, and so I got it. I don't know if I still have it. I might have just thrown it out because it's literally obsolete.
I don't know if you did, because you still had HD DVDs before you moved.
I actually still have them because I don't know what to do with them.
Then you probably still have your HD DVD
not
player.
Necessarily. Who knows? It could be locked away somewhere, but there's no reason whatsoever to actually get it out and use it.
Is it fair to say that Xbox 360 won the 7th generation?
Or is that what you're calling it, the 7th generation?
That's what it says right here. This was the 7th generation of consoles. We're on the 8th now.
I think so, because I think it outsold the PS3.
I would say so, yeah.
I can check on that. I'm more certain that they did, but I'll look. I'm pretty sure that they did, because PlayStation 3, people have problems with that, because remember when PSN was down for months?
Oh, yeah.
Yep.
I made fun of that on Facebook, and one of my classmates got so mad at me. He's like, well, you having an Xbox 360, blah, 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 you pay for it. I'm like, yeah, but I pay for dedicated servers and stuff that's not down for long periods of time.
Right.
So
while you're looking that up, Alex, is there any specific memory that you can remember with your Xbox 360? Or, something?
Really, just a lot of my... I don't know, the only thing that comes to mind when I think about it is just staying connected with you guys for living so far away.
Yeah.
And that's why I like multiplayer so much I don't know. For the only campaigns I've ever really gotten into is Tomb Raider.
Oh, yeah.
I don't know, I'm more attracted, I guess, to playing as a female character because I can relate more to it.
Sure.
And then when that trailer came out, it looked so badass.
Yeah.
It looked so awesome. And then the game was just...
It was great.
Yes,
it
it was an amazing game.
Great reboot.
Yeah. And I played Tomb Raider a long time ago when it was like the older version.
Yeah.
So, yeah. But yeah, I don't know, just the memory or the thing that the fun stuff about it is really just playing with you guys, because I can't even pick a certain memory because of how many funny things that happened during multiplayer or just during while we're on Xbox Live. I can't really, there's just so many I can't pick one.
I mean, some I'll never forget is the large party chats while we're playing GTA Online with some of the funniest shit that will ever happen. And it's
you were
too bad.
crying laughing.
It's too bad that the DVR came after we were into it heavy, you know? Because some of the stuff that happened that we could have recorded was, oh my God.
You should talk about the one where...
Are you talking about the flipping
yes,
of the...
we were doing the mission.
I flipped an SUV.
I was in the car with you.
I flipped it like 7 times where it ended up twirling on the corner of the bumper.
Were you driving or was I?
Oh, I was driving because
All we had to do was get from point A to B in 2 different SUVs.
I prided myself on being a decent driver. I don't know.
We took a
what
shortcut,
happened.
that's why. And I remember spinning on an axis at one
Yes.
point, doors flying off.
When we arrived, or when we made it to our destination, there was one door left.
And one tire.
No, I think it had all the wheels.
I don't think it had all the wheels.
I think it was just
Well,
one
maybe
tire.
not, but
All the
All the
windows were
windows
blown
bashed
out.
out.
Everything, it was just,
And
it
we
looked
weren't
beat
even
to shit.
shooting anybody.
it was.
No, it wasn't even like a chase or anything. It was just trying to get from point A to B first. And then I pull up with my SUV, lightly beaten up from taking some quick turns. And then all of a sudden, they just come up right behind
You see
me.
us hauling,
and they
flipping.
They just like flip into like point B. And I'm like, well, where the fuck did you guys go?
It was not one of my better driving moments.
I have to say that's one of our best memories for us 3 on GTA. But for me, in general, my favorite memory on GTA 5 on the 360 was I was going up to Mount Chiliad to go down Old Man's Crack.
Yeah.
It was me. I want to say it was our buddy Greg and our friend Jer, which, by the way, we did not plug.
Oh,
we will.
well,
We're
yeah,
not
we
to
will at
plugs
the end.
yet.
Okay. So we went up to Mount Chiliad. I think Eric was there too. And this is before you had the option of creating your own gameplay, like your own game style, like a race down to the bottom or whatever. So I've been watching some online videos of someone doing this. So I was like, I want to try this with my friends. So we all got a car. Didn't matter what kind. So we tried to go up Mount Chiliad. I remember getting up there. It took a long time. And then all of a sudden, Jared gets up there. And I remember laughing so hard because his car was beat to shreds. And I don't know why it was so funny, but I laughed so hard because it took him twice as long to get up this hill. And, well, it's not a hill. It's a freaking mountain. Yeah. With a very, very steep path. So I remember him showing up. He's like, okay, I'm here. His car is just beat up. And I was like, oh my God, that's so funny. That was
I think
my favorite.
I think you're missing one is when you guys were all inside looking at the security camera.
Oh, yeah.
With the chase.
That was at your house.
Were you there for that? Because I thought that was just me and Katie and Greg.
I was there.
No, I wasn't there. I was sleeping, and then I woke up to you guys laughing, and you guys had to tell me about it. But the story's funny.
Well, we see Greg drive one way. Now, this is on the monitor showing the security feed out front, which sounds ridiculous when you're talking about a video game, but you can literally watch the security feed.
Yep.
So you see Greg drive one way, and then
What does he say? Guys, please help me.
Guys, help me.
and then you
Then like 2 seconds later,
he's driving the other way, and
Then
there's
you see
like 6 cops behind him.
he's like, no, guys, seriously.
Oh my God, it was so funny.
I don't know, you guys were laughing so hard it like shot me awake. I'm like, what did I miss?
To go back on our sales here. Okay, so
it's about the PS3.
I'm gonna tell you about the Wii too.
Okay.
Now, if we want to go for sales, Xbox 360 did not win.
Really?
Right.
Wow, really?
PlayStation 3 did 80 million as November 2nd of 2013, so that is 6 months behind Xbox 360's statement of launch. Nintendo Wii, as of December 31st, 2015, 101.63 million.
Wow, are you serious?
Wow.
Well, the Wii had such a
I mean, I know, but
big following. It was a cult, basically.
It was more of a casual gamer versus your hardcore gamers.
yeah.
Right. So, and casual, I mean, that brought old people into the playing and stuff. And then Xbox did the same thing with Kinect, but so.
That pretty much concludes our appreciation show.
We're done already?
Yeah, it's at 35.
Wow.
Oh, we can still go a little bit.
All right.
What else did you want to add?
I mean, we barely touched the tip of the iceberg. I mean, we can talk about the different models that came out. We didn't touch on the E,
The E.
the Xbox 360 E.
I think that was a horrible
It was a
design.
POS model.
design decision. It was probably done because it was towards the end of their life cycle. They found a cheaper way to do it, and that's what they decided to do.
Yeah, and it's kind of like we're just, putting Xbox 360 in the grave. I mean, they're still doing live support for it.
They're doing live support and they're selling through their current stock. They're just not producing any new ones.
I expect they'll probably still have third-party titles come out.
I imagine.
When was the last time you turned on the 360?
I'm not saying that I'm going to buy a 360 game, but I'm still going to say that I'm going to say one title is going to be released for at least the next 5 years. That's FIFA.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
FIFA did the same thing with
Madden
PlayStation
games.
2.
The
and
annual stuff.
Yeah.
no, like
No
not
new
even
games,
like FIFA.
obviously.
FIFA was the last released title on the PlayStation 2 before it stopped. So, yeah, and that was like I want to say back in 2012, maybe 14, 13. I don't know. I'm not gonna look it up because we're gonna wrap up here. So
Well, one thing I do check every Tuesday is to see what's on sale, because if it's a game that I want that I don't have and I can get it dirt cheap for digital, hoping, and then maybe it becomes backwards compatible, then I just have it,
right.
So, I mean, that is one thing that I check. So maybe I buy it and maybe I play it on the 360, and if I do, fine. And if it goes backwards compatible on the one, then that's where I get it. But it's the digital copy. I'm never gonna buy a physical copy for a 360 again.
Right. So
Sounds really sad.
Yeah, no. But I mean, it doesn't mean that I'm not gonna play something. It just won't be the physical copy.
sounds like you want to curl up in a blanket and try not to cry.
Hey,
and
well,
cry a lot.
look at this. We're going to save them. And then eventually, when we have little ones, just be like, hey, look, this is what got us into gaming. Here you go. Play it.
Well, that's the other thing.
I
Like,
don't know
I
about
go
that.
to where I buy stuff and I find Nintendo 64 games that I got rid of a long time ago, and here I am buying them again.
Right.
15 years later.
Thank God for resale.
That's kind of how I am
companies.
with the Game Boy Color.
Yeah.
Every time I go in there, I'm looking for Pokemon, but it's never there.
Right.
Every time.
So, Xbox 360, lest we forget.
It was a great time. It changed the way I play video games. We didn't
Yep.
even talk
too.
about achievements. That literally changed the way that I play video games. I'm bouncing back now, but there was a time where if I couldn't get an achievement, I didn't really want to play it.
What'd you call yourself?
Achievement whore.
There you go.
We all know that that's
I'm
you.
not the only one, because there's something actually called Achievement Hunter, and it's major.
Oh yeah.
Oh, yeah.
I just didn't want to mention them pertain to them, but yeah, I do watch a lot of their stuff. That's how I got into doing a lot of stuff on GTA, and
That's how if I got stuck on something in Tomb Raider, I would just go on Achievement Hunter.
or IGN. Those are
Yeah.
the two big
Yep.
ones. But
Wikis are a big thing.
yeah, I mean, does anybody buy a game?
Game
Book?
Guide. They still make them.
I have one.
I know they
sitting
do
right here.
because you just got
I
one.
very
There's one sitting right here. It's for Fallout 4.
sometimes I like it for the art in it. Like, I
Yeah.
know
I
I
like it
bought
for the art.
one for Arkham Asylum because I just thought it was really cool, and it had a lot of important stuff in it, and it was more just like a novelty thing, like something I was glad to have versus the practicality of it.
Correct. Yeah. Yeah. I mean, when you were back in the 90s, you would get one, but nowadays wikis are a thing. And when Xbox 360 first launched, I don't think there was anything out there besides IGN.
Right. Well,
So-
there probably was, but that was our go-to.
Right. Because they've been around for so long. So Do you know how their symbol was made for IGN?
It's a power button, isn't it?
No.
Directional pad?
It was the Nintendo 64 C buttons.
Oh, okay.
Oh, yeah.
Yep.
didn't
IGN was
even think about
created specifically for Nintendo 64.
Yeah, that makes
I didn't know that.
That makes sense.
And then other companies came in. So
All right. Well, now that will wrap up our Xbox 360 Appreciation Celebration show.
Our funeral.
Well,
when you have a funeral, you
Celebration
celebrate
of
their
life.
life.
Celebrational
Exactly.
funeral.
You celebrate the life.
so if you want to tell us your favorite things or stories or whatever about the Xbox 360, send us an email.
Yeah. What's your
Pete-
favorite games on the 360?
Or tweet us.
Several ways to reach us. We'll
Just-
go through them all.
We want to hear from our audience. We'll have all of our stuff.
Yeah,
in the,
don't forget
in
to
the
like and
description.
follow our Facebook and our Twitter.
Yes, it'd be mighty nice of you.
So our email is ptounlimited@gmail.com. And we are on Twitter at PTOUnlimited. And Facebook.com/PTOUnlimited. There's a key word here, folks. It's PTOUnlimited. And it's actually kind of one word.
Yep. It's a podcast.
It is. My Twitter handle is Brett_Wings. At Brett_Wings.
And mine is Cute Kitty. It's cute, KUTE_KITTI.
Mine is at Lemke619, LEMCKE, and 619 is with the numbers.
Now, we also have to appreciate a friend of ours who sent us a piece of his own music to use as our intro.
Yep.
He's say his name, Josh?
He's on SoundCloud. It's soundcloud.com/jfreehill. His name's Jeremy. He is.
You should go check him out. He's got a lot of good music.
And while you're there, go check out the PTO Unlimited podcast on SoundCloud.
Well, that's without
how else
saying.
are they going to hear it?
We hope that
realized we hadn't
if you're listening to this, you're on
words.
SoundCloud.
Right. So, thanks for listening, guys.
Tell a friend. If you enjoyed what you heard, tell a friend to tell a friend. We'd love if you listen.
Yep.
All right. This is Brett. Thank you, Josh.
You're welcome.
Thank you, Alex.
You're welcome.
We are signing off.
Bye.
See you next week.
Bye.